Today is a Sunday, October 29, 2023. Communication services restored in Gaza as Israeli internet and phone blockade ends. Internet and phone services returned to Gaza after Israeli dispatches arrestment. Paltal Group says services are being gradation ally restored after dislocation due to Israeli hail. Internet and phone services are returning to Gaza following a dispatch knockout that philanthropic groups had advised could be used as a cover for war crimes. Paltal Group, which provides dispatch services in Gaza, said on Sunday that landline, mobile, and internet services were gradation ally being restored after being disintegrated by ongoing aggression. Our specialized brigades are diligently addressing the damage to the internal network structure under grueling conditions, the telecom said in a statement. May God cover you all and our country. Majd Abu Salama, an opinion columnist for Al Jazeera, said he was suitable to reach his mama in Gaza and hear her voice. Everyone can reach their families now. No one knows for how long. He wrote on social media. Gaza had been under a near-total dispatch knockout for nearly 36 hours following Israeli air attacks on Friday that Palestinian telecoms providers said knocked out dispatch lines and halls. Rights associations including Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch had advised that the lack of dispatches in the enclave was hampering sweats to validate war crimes and other abuses. On Saturday, Elon Musk said he'd offer his Starlink satellite internet service to internationally honored aid associations in Gaza, egging demurs by Israel. Hamas will use it for terrorist conditioning, Israel's communication minister Shlomo Karei said on X. Maybe Musk would be willing to condition it with the release of our kidnapped babies, sons, daughters, senior people. All of them. By also, my office will cut any ties with Starlink. Global demonstrations rally against Israeli Gaza bombardment. Individuals around the world rallied to help Gaza as with Israeli besiege has killed almost 9,000 Palestinians. A huge number of demonstrators revitalized in cities across Europe, the Center East, the US, and Asia on Saturday to show support for the Palestinians in the midst of a ruthless Israeli help rush on the Gaza Strip. In quite possibly the greatest walk, huge groups walked through the focal point of the English capital, London, to request the public authority of state head Rishi Sunak requires a truce. Saturday's march in London was substantially peaceful, but police said they had made 9 apprehensions, 2 for assaults on officers and 7 for public order offences, some of which were being treated as hate crimes. Police assessed the turnout as somewhere in the range of 50,000 and 70,000 individuals. Echoing Washington's station, Sunak's government has stopped suddenly calling for a ceasefire and rather supported philanthropic pauses to allow aid to reach people in Gaza. The United Kingdom has supported Israel's right to defend itself after the October 7 attack by Hamas killed further than 1,400 people, substantially civilians. The death risk in Gaza has crossed 7,700, also substantially civilians since Israel's hail began 3 weeks ago, according to the Palestinian Ministry of Health. In Malaysia, a large crowd of demonstrators chanted taglines outside the U.S. delegacy in Kuala Lumpur. An expected 100,000 individuals mobilized in the southern Indian province of Kerala in fortitude with Palestine. Addressing hundreds of thousands of sympathizers at a huge rally in Istanbul, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said Israel was an occupier, and repeated his station about Hamas not being a terrorist organization. Erdogan drew a sharp reproach from Israel this week for calling the fortified group freedom fighters. Demurs were also held in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad. Palestinian protesters in Hebron in the enthralled West Bank called for a global boycott of Israeli products. Try not to add to the result of the offspring of Palestine, they recited. Away in Europe, people took to the thoroughfares of Copenhagen, Rome, and Stockholm. Some metropolises in France have banned rallies since the war began, stewing they could fuel social pressures. Yet, regardless of a boycott in Paris, a little meeting occurred on Saturday. Several hundred people also marched in the southern megacity of Marseille. In New Zealand's capital, Wellington, thousands of people holding Palestinian flags and posters reading Free Palestine marched to Parliament House. Thanks for watching and subscribing to the channel.